Good afternoon. The title of this project is called Moon, Mist, Tree, and Hills. I've done a drawing, a plan on white paper, but the final is going to be done on black paper. So in this first of two videos that relates to this project, I simply want to show you on white paper how to draw a branching tree, how to add your moon and mist and hills. Later, I'll make a second video showing you the drawing on black paper and how to use your pencils to add color and, more importantly, shading. Let's get started. So here's my white paper that I'm using to make sure you see how this is drawn. I'm going to draw the letter Y and then next to it the letter V. These two letters we will use to draw our tree. The Y begins the tree with a very large trunk near the bottom of the page. This is the trunk of my tree right here, the very bottom of the Y. And just like the Y, as the trunk moves upwards, it separates. And one line goes right and the other goes left. And there's the top portion of my Y right there. Now, every time you have a Y, you have to have a V inside. So let's take this small point at the bottom of the V and place it somewhere inside the Y, maybe there, and draw my V. Now the arms of the V rise up and run parallel to the sides of the tree. That's an important relationship. The V itself is a space between the two large branches. You cannot add another V until you have another Y. So you have another Y, you find the bottom point of the V, the arms of the V rise to more or less run parallel to the sides of the tree, and the V itself is a space between these branches. Here's a Y, and here's a V. Notice the arms of the V don't have to be the same length. Here's a Y, and here's a V. This V, this arm of the V, comes together gradually to meet the outside edge of the branch and end. Here's a branch that goes off the paper. Here's a branch. There's my Y. This branch was broken. So I terminate or end it with a hard, broken line. And this branch, there's my V, goes off the page. This one, there's my V, and there's my Y, and this one. There's my Y, and here's my V. That's enough branching for this tree. Now the moon can be anywhere, and it can be any shape. Notice I drew a very light circle. I draw lightly sometimes so I can go back and pick out and reinforce and make darker just those lines of the tree, of the moon, that I need to see. So those are the only lines of the moon that I need to see, and I made them dark. The other lighter lines are light enough for me to ignore. Now mist is water vapor, and I'm going to use an unusual line. This is called a meandering line. It's made of lots of S's. You see an S there, you see another S there, you see another S there. I'm going to do it again. So water vapor rising from the ground creates the mist on this very dark and spooky night. The mist can go off the page and come back on again if you wish. There's my mist. Now the only other elements I need to add are my hills. Now that means I have to add more than one. I have to have at least two. And again, lightly, I'll draw a line and only reinforce those parts of the hill that I'll be able to see peeking out from behind the mist and the tree. Let's do another. There's my second hill, only reinforcing and darkening the parts of the hill that I can see peeking out from behind the mist and the tree. Now, you try.